Dice, and I am president of the Houston East End Chamber of Commerce, and it's an honor to welcome you to our Feel Good Fridays. This is my pleasure. I think this is going to be one of my favorite interviews with Felix and Nellie Fraga, and also with Captain Tom Lightsey. They have become very good friends throughout the year and with great ties to the East End community. And we're also here because Captain Lightsey has just released a memoir called Sea to Shore. And this is going to be available online. We're going to have a link on our website where you can email his daughter and place an order for this book. But without further ado, I wanted to introduce you to Felix Fraga, who, if you don't know who he is, he's an East End legend. He's given back to our community, a former city council member on the HISD board, and a huge contributor to Ripley House, now Baker Ripley, and still one of their representatives there. And then we also have Captain Tom Lightsey, who started his career as a Marine merchant, then joined the Houston Pilots and has served there for over 37 years. And both of them together, you'll hear, have been big contributors to our community. And without further ado, I'm going to start with Mr. Fraga. Mr. Fraga, can you just start with telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got started into the world of social work? And on our next page, we've got some pictures of you and your family that we wanted to maybe let you talk through.
Gotcha. So how I started social work? Well, I started when I was 3 years old. No, when I was 3 years old, I started going to Rusk Settlement House. We would go every day, and it was almost like being in school, but you know, I was 3 then, and it was one of those kind of things we start out with. And I really had, if it hadn't been for that, I don't know if I would be where I am today.
Yeah, and I know you've got a beautiful family, a family of just brothers. Can you tell us a bit about your family?
The brothers?
6 brothers. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yes, they all were not ball players, I guess. Maybe, but to some extent, they were out in the community quite a bit, and I was just trying to keep up with them. I think I was the third oldest, and there were 3 younger ones and 2 older ones. There were 6 of us, and I did everything that they told me to, and I really enjoyed being a part of the members of the family.
Wonderful. And Mrs. Fraga, can you tell us about when you and Mr. Fraga met and your 2 beautiful sons?
I met Felix in 1966 when I came as an international professional social worker from Ecuador, thanks to the Cleveland International Program. And that's where I met Felix at the Ripley House Community Center. And I was really very productive for me to learn so many programs that the Houston had for the community, that I was trying to do something like that in Ecuador, in Guayaquil. So that's how I met Felix. And then in 69, he went to Ecuador, and we married in 69. So since 69, I'm here in Houston. And we had 3 boys, Fernando and Carlos and Bolivar. And Carlos and Bolivar were educated here in Houston, where they were born, and they went to the Air Force Academy. And they are professionals in each different areas. Like Carlos is a doctor in chemistry, and my son Bolivar has 3 master's degrees. He uses 1. He's in social work like his daddy and I. So he has been working in the community, the same area that his father started so many years ago, doing the best that he can do for the community.
Wonderful. And Captain Lightsey, we've got some pictures here of you and your beautiful family. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you got started in your career and your family?
Well, you shouldn't give me the microphone because y'all will be here till dark.
It's okay.
No. Well, I got married in 1950 to a wonderful person, and we were married 55 years, and we were the same age. but she was 2 years ahead of me in school. So what does that tell you? But anyhow, we were married 55 years and we had 6 children. And she was a wonderful companion. And my philosophy in life is, if you get a good companion, you have life, 50% of life made. And then if you get a job you like, you got the other half. Well, I had a wonderful wife, and the ships and the sea were my entire life. So,
That's
the big thing is, if I had the life to live over again, I'd do the same thing. My wife raised the children, and I made a living, and it worked.
I love that story, Captain, so very much. And on the next page, I wanted to also talk about, you, Felix, you were a former city council member, and then you've also received awards from the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Committee as a Lifetime Achievement Award, and you've also have the Houston Community College Southeast Campus named after you. How important is it to give back to the community, especially maybe at a time like we are in today?
Oh, I wouldn't have been able to do anything if I hadn't been doing that, taking part in helping other people get to where they want to get to and learn. So it's been the kind of life that I hope everybody would be able to live. But this was a great experience for me.
Wonderful. And Mrs. Fraga, I don't know if you want to add anything else too, because, next to every wonderful man is a wonderful woman. How was it doing your job and then also keeping up with what Felix is doing with the community?
Yeah, already has said that the community was sometimes first, because I used to say him that he didn't worry about me the wife, because he was always the community. But his words always said, if the community is fine, my family is fine too. So he was right. I always consider that. So I'm glad that he was so dedicated to them, because we have the benefits too, to be in good health, to have a good education, because he always started programs that will benefit the community in education especially. So to the little ones, to the one going to college, he always gave ideas or advices and facilitated the way how to get scholarships and all that.
Wonderful. And then Captain Lightsey, we've got some photos here of you. You spent 37 plus years as a Houston pilot and won several awards yourself through the Rotary Club, through the YMCA. Can you tell us a little bit about your career, how that came to be, and the importance of giving back?
Well, my career does not compare with Felix's. I can't say I've spent half my life watching Felix getting awards. So, yeah, I don't think this is fair. Put me Felix, but my career at sea started in 1942, World War II. I was a senior in high school, and when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, all the seniors were quitting school and joining up, and my mother asked me to stay and graduate rather, and so I did. And then that summer I signed up for the Navy, but the Navy wouldn't take me. I had asthma, and they had the recruiting officer merchant marine right next door, and I went and signed up with them. I didn't tell them I had asthma. And then so I went to boot camp, and then later on I went to officer school, and I just climbed the ladder till I got to be captain, and I was captain of 4 different tankers. And that's a really good life, but it's not a life for married man. So I got married, and we started our family up in New Jersey. I was running most of Europe. And then I came into Houston Pilots, and that's where I was, all of my success has been through the Houston pilots. You work 15 days and you're off 15. My off time, got involved in real estate and did very well. And the big thing is that when I got involved with the Rotary and the Y, all of the business people, as soon as they made money, they moved out of the East End. And that trended on till about 10 years later, it got equal. Now, the East End is the hottest property in Houston. Mm-hmm. So what goes around comes around. And in the meantime, my investments are paying off, and I'd asked my wife if she wanted to move. She said unequivocally, no. She liked our neighbors and she liked the school. The kids were doing good. So where could we move to improve that? So we stayed in our house 51 years till she passed away. And since then, I've been living up here in this retirement home and hunkered down with the quarantine. And like I say, y'all not doing me justice comparing me with Felix.
I think you're both equally amazing. And, now I want to talk about how you two met. And this slide right here kind of sets us up for what happened. Captain, would you like to start of how you and the Fragas met at the Harrisburg Rotary meeting at Ripley House?
First is the Ripley House. We're talking about the old Ripley House, not the
right.
And they had a Rotary meeting, and this time they invited the wives to go. So my wife and I went to Ripley House, and we had to walk across the basketball court, and they had a bunch of old men sitting around talking and joking. And I was thinking how nice that is that these old men can come in and play cards and everything. Anyhow, we went in and we got seated in the auditorium. And they had a stage, and Nellie's ballet folklore kids put the program on, and their mothers were standing around the wall, and I was looking and thinking, how sad if I could get just one of these kids to better themselves. And that's how it started. Going home, I told my wife we ought to try it. So I had to call Felix about 3 times because I always joke a lot. And Felix, I told him, follow him. But anyhow, you see this young lady on the right, on the bottom, that's Pilar. And we are so proud. She's one of the original ones. And she went ahead and got a teacher's certificate. She taught in the East End for years. Then she decided she wanted to be a principal. And so you had to have a master's degree. So she went to St. Thomas, got that master's degree, and Felix and I went to see her walk across the stage. So that's just one of the success stories that scholarship has started.
That's beautiful. And, Ms. Fraga, thank you for having this Ballet Folklorico group. And Felix, what does it mean to know that what you're doing on a daily basis, what you love to do, started something that's making a difference in the world today with these scholarships?
I'm just glad that I was given the opportunity to do something like that. And I'll always feel good about my life when I remember those kind of events.
Definitely. And I am wearing, and I hopefully that you can see it there. This is a butterfly bracelet. It's one of my most prized possessions, and it has a special meaning. It reminds me of Yolanda Black Navarro. She is also an East End legend who is in heaven right now, but her spirit lives on in all of us. And some of the awards that you received, Felix, was at the East End Street Fest. You and Yolanda were our first ever East End King and Queen, and well-deserved. It was a unanimous decision, and you well-deserved that honor. And then another tie that Yolanda had with Felix is through, with Captain Lightsey, is the Shoes for Kids program. And I think that that's just an amazing thing. And Captain, can you tell us a little bit about why you got involved with Yolanda's Shoes for Kids program?
Well, first, Yolanda was a ball of fire. I loved her. She was an activist. Anyhow, she came to a friend of mine, Bill Woodby, who was the president of Navigation Bank, and she would like to start a donation for kids. And she asked him if he'd donate, and he said he would. So then he told Yolanda to call me, and she called me, and we each donated. It was 5 of us, gave $500 for it. So that was started, and I think now we're on the 32nd year or something with the Shoes for Kids, and you have to see it to how it's just for kids, I think, from, well, my memory, it's either 6 to 10 or something, but it's a real big thing. And the nicest part, Yolanda's son, Chris, is carrying it on. And they gave, I think, last year, 2,000 pairs of shoes to the deserving kids, and they have to get a voucher from their teacher, the deserving ones. So anyhow, I've been involved with that since its inception.
And so thank you so much for that. And both of you, Felix and Captain, are very outdoorsy people and very athletic as well. Captain, you were very instrumental in helping the YMCA. And Felix, did you play baseball in college?
Yes. In fact, guess how I got my
Scholarship.
my classes. I mean, and my
You got the scholarship.
and the scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah. So how important is it, you know, to give back? You got a scholarship, and now you're helping other kids get scholarships. And you, Captain, you were very instrumental with the Y and received their highest honor award there. How did those two things make you feel, and did it help you continue the journey of what you're doing today?
It was,
Well, always continue the journey's over, you know, but when first thing I did when I came ashore was join the Y, because I knew I needed exercise. And then they asked me to join the board. Well, I didn't want to join the board, but bottom line, I did. And then first thing you know, I'm chairman of the board, and all the board consisted of Rotarians. And they had asked me to join the Rotary. I wasn't interested, but I saw if I was going to be a success, I was going to have to join the Rotary with the rest of them. And so there you go. That started how I got started in the Y. And I was a lifetime board member, honorary lifetime board member. So I've been involved with it so many years. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I like this picture on the left there with Felix and Nellie, and that's a scholarship from my 2 daughters and Joelle. Joelle has been there ever since inception. A lot of help. Yeah.
Wonderful. And then Felix, I don't know if you wanted to add anything?
other than I guess having this kind of programs to help people. And having a guy like Tom Lightsey to help you get what you need to get the job done is the best combination I could have ever wanted to be a part of. It was great.
I would like to add it that I was part of the Rotary Club because in Ecuador, they started the School of Social Work.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a product of that help that the Rotary Club did in Ecuador. So I'm part of the Rotarians and a social worker because they founded the School of Social Work that is part of the university in Guayaquil now.
And when we started that scholarship, we wanted it to be anonymous. We didn't want anybody to know. And Felix says, no, that's wrong. You need to let people know because he would love to see somebody following like we have done.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. And speaking of Rotary, I read in your book, Captain, that you also got your flying pilot's license and flew doctors to Chihuahua to help with clinics. I mean, that was just amazing. I wanted to, first of all, thank you for that. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the Rotary Club is building a clinic up in the mountains in Guerrero. And we could fly to Chihuahua. And so I would carry out, I think I did this 4 different times, carry doctors and nurses and down, and they would go take the bus and go up to Guerrero. And these people would come walk for 3 days out of the mountains to get, like a teeth fixed, have a operation or something. And I got a lot of satisfaction doing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now it's up and running. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we got a few questions from the audience here, so I wanted to read those.
One other thing on that.
Yes.
I'm ultra conservative in that flying and the density altitude on first we had a 300 horsepower. Anyhow, his sun heats up, the air gets thinner, and we was 4 planes, and I told them that I wanted to leave at 8 a.m. when we were coming back to Houston. On my wheels in the well by 8 a.m. I wasn't going. And boy, that upset them because they had to get another bus and spend the night in the hotel. But one of the friends of the lawyer said he liked it, but he agreed with what I did, but he wouldn't come forward. But to make a long story short, they gave in and we had the wheels in the well coming back to Houston because the air by the density altitude is 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon was going to be too hot for that.
Oh, I love this story. But I got a couple of questions that I wanted to ask to both of you guys. And was it ever hard to balance your occupation choice with your family? Mr. Fraga, we'll start with you.
Not really. In fact, it was never a problem. I'm just glad that it worked out that well. I had a wife that wouldn't mind doing what I needed to be done by somebody.
I admire you because you were jumping from one place to the other. You never left us alone. You were right there when your sons needed. I thank you, God, for that. Thank you for that ability that God gave you, all those beautiful things.
It was a great life.
Great. And you, Captain, was it hard to ever balance your occupation choice with your family?
When you're working, when you're 15 days, if you're working, I don't care, it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or what, you have to work. So the holidays didn't get in. But every summer, I'd take my family and we'd go somewhere. Like, I remember when they opened the Hemisphere in San Antonio, we went to that opening, and we've been to Disney World different resorts and stuff. So we'd get together at least once a year, everybody.
Great. Another question we have here is that, both Captain Lightsey and Felix have invested a tremendous amount of their time and life to civic engagement. Generation Y, X, and the millennials struggle with that kind of commitment. Can both of you gentlemen speak to the benefits of public service and participating in the community? We'll start with you, Felix. The benefits of public service and participating in the community for those youngsters.
Let me see, how can I start? What do you think I could say about that?
No, I think it's very important, and I think if they just follow your footsteps, they're going to just be, great leaders themselves. So yes, and Ms. Fraga, do you agree with that?
Well, yes, I think that he's leaving a big legacy, and people remember him. That's why it's so great when we go someplace, people stop us and thank him for he did. And they said that they are a good example. They remember they want to do the same thing. I really thank you to all those persons that remembers his work and they are following his example.
I do too. And Captain, you have this beautiful phrase. And I'm not going to say it the right way, but you'll have to correct me. It's not where you start. You finish that quote, if you don't mind.
Great. No. I've had the best life that anyone could have, I think. And I certainly appreciate every opportunity I got to help others.
Yeah, the new generation has to work hard for accomplish so many things. It's different now. It's not that easy. They have to work more, I guess, harder for the situation and keep helping others. I hope they don't forget that.
It's true. And then you, Captain Lightsey, you have this beautiful phrase that starts with, it's not where you start. Do you remember that beautiful phrase?
Yeah. It's not how you start, it's how you end the game. Never mind what the score is in the middle quarter or last quarter. It's how the bottom line is you got to walk away a winner. It's all right. I tell them, okay to fail. I took the same computer course 3 times at HCC. That shows you how smart I am. So, but the bottom line is I'll learn how to do it. So it's okay to fail, but don't quit. Keep coming back and coming back.
I agree. I love that. And then for both of you, what has been your favorite and most impactful memory, whether it's a family memory or whether it's a community memory? Ms. Fraga and Mr. Fraga, we'll start with you two.
You ladies first.
Well, I always, I'm glad that so many young people, when I see them, the dancers for the Ballet Folklorico, remember something that it had helped them to keep going. And they said that the encouragement that we gave the classes and to keep being themselves and improve themselves and get whatever you can reach. You can work hard and you can go to the top and be a success, have a success person in the world.
And of course, in my case, just the fact that I was there whenever anybody needed anything and wanted some help, I was able to provide it, and that gave me a wonderful feeling, and I think it helped me help people feel a lot better also. So I've had a great life that I don't know how I could have been any better.
Thank you. And Mr. Captain Lightsey, any most favorite or impactful memory you'd like to share with us?
You haven't given enough accolades to Nellie and her ballet folklore. She just finished 40 years. And she presented my wife at one of the performances because my wife was a big supporter of ballet folklore. Anyhow, and that's what I wanted to say. Nellie has done, the big thing is the costumes. They handed down from generation to generation. And I'm so proud of what she's done there. Yeah. But
We thank you for helping us to keep going. And that's what this year, you are honoree for the 2020 year, and it will be done in December. Hopefully everything is going okay. We have postponed it. It's supposed to be on June next month, but the situation is impossible. So we are trying to do this on December. You will receive an invitation, Frances.
I'll be there.
yeah, but anyhow, I'm so proud of that. So I was going to tell Felix, he better watch out. Nellie's going to pass him. With all
That's so true.
yeah.
And then I wanted to read and again, everyone, this is the cover of his new book, Sea to Shore. And I think Mrs. Fraga, you have one over there too.
Yes, it's my good friend.
I love it.
Yes.
But I wanted to read something in one of it says, to date, I have given over $1.2 million to causes I believe in. The bottom line is Betty and I never wanted to keep up with the Joneses. We grew up in the Depression, and a lot of the pilots had second homes, boats, fancy stuff. We never wanted that. We wanted to give back. And I thank you for giving back.
Yeah.
But just last tribute or encouragement for others of why it's important to slow down. And maybe COVID-19 is making a lot of us slow down and reflect on our lives and allow us to give back in different ways. Any words of wisdom to people that want to give back? We'll start with you, Captain.
It's an individual choice. 90% of the people want to keep up with the Joneses, and lead the high life. Well, that didn't appeal to me or my wife. So that's the reason we lived so conservatively, and I was very fortunate in my investments. I made quite a bit of money, but and I watched the pennies, not the nickels, because it was hard in the Depression. And my big thing is in life, I wanted all my kids educated, and I didn't buy an airplane till I was 58 years old because I was educating kids. But the bottom line is we got 5 out of 6 got master's degrees. And so
Beautiful.
I'm really pleased. That was my goal in life, was to educate my kids because my wife didn't have it and I didn't have it.
That's great. Mr. Fraga?
Well, if you can always just be ready and helpful when somebody does need help, that's the best thing in life. And I'll never forget the fact that helping other people has been the greatest joy in my life. And I just hope other people will find that to be so in their lives.
And Nellie, 2 sons, and both of them graduate Air Force Academy, Carlos and Bo. So
Yes,
proud. Yeah.
that's true. I wanted to bring this picture back up because it's very meaningful. This map was sent to us by your daughter, Captain, and it's also in your book. And then Felix, you were one of our speakers at the Chamber's Lead. It's a leadership program for young up-and-coming leaders. And it was just an honor to help put this art cube together and then have you speak to our class and then take a photo with you. I think it's so important. On the side it says, let's grow. And that's what both of you have done for our East End community and for your families, is you've just planted beautiful seeds that are going to allow other plants to grow from it. And then from there, others will grow and continue. So the legacy will live on. And I thought this was beautiful, this map of the world. It kind of ties both of you. Mrs. Fraga, I know you're from Ecuador, and we all have, international ties one way or another. And Captain, I think you've sailed all over the world, or for the most part. And so this is just another tribute to both of you guys, that the seeds that you've planted are leaving legacies for everyone. And we're very, very grateful to you too.
Thank you, Francis.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, I don't have any, we don't have any more questions, but I just wanted to remind everyone that there will be an email. Captain, his daughter, Catherine Hubbard @gmail.com is an email address that you can go to and place an order for the book. But we'll also have this on a link on our website, and we'll send it out to everyone that's on this call today. It's been my honor to talk to you guys. Captain, I want to do a part 2 and a part 3 with you because you've got some great nuggets of advice. And in closing, do you want to say anything to just wrap this wonderful conversation up? I'll start with you, Captain Lightsey.
Yeah, the big thing is I've been friends with Felix and Ballet for what, Felix, 30, 35, 40 years, long time. And what we do for excitement, we go to the church on Sunday at 11 o'clock, and we go to dinner at either Naples or El Tempo. So we visit a lot, and I really enjoy their company, and wonderful people.
The friendship is so important in our life. So thank you that we are able to have your friendship.
Yeah. And the more friends you have, the better and happier you will be.
That is so
Right.
true. That is so true. Well, when this is all over, hopefully we'll all be able to get together at a local restaurant here in the East End. El Tiempo sounds very good. You know, all three of us grew up in the East End or have ties to the East End, and I'm just so honored to get to talk to you two, and I can't wait to give you hugs in person when this is all done. So thank you both very, very much, and we will talk to you all very soon. And I want my book signed, Captain.
Yes, we need a vacation. Thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Frank.
All right. You guys have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.